everyone and welcome to my channel. I had been thinking about starting a K-pop YouTube channel for a while now. I started collecting about a year or so ago and I watch a lot of YouTube, so it just seemed like a fun thing to do in my free time, and who doesn't love talking about K-pop even more than they already do. And since I moved and I don't have a lot of friends around me that are into K-pop, I figured this would be a fun way to just connect with more K-pop fans, and maybe there's people out there who are in a similar situation to me and just want someone else to kind of chat about things with. So yeah, that's why I wanted to start this, and I figured there's no better way to start the new year than to look back on last year and all the good things and the bad things about it and just reminisce. So I'm going to be doing the K-Pop Album Tag that goes around every year at the end of the year, that was started by Random Me 2011, so I'll link their channel down below, but I'm going to get into it. So the first question is, what's your favorite album? And I kind of broke it up into favorite full album, mini album, and then single album. So my favorite full album for this year is SHINee's The Story of Light Part Epilogue. And this album is literally perfection. It's one of my favorite K-pop albums in general, and I just think SHINee and SM did everything right with this album. There were so many questions going into this year about SHINee and whether they'd put out an album or if they'd take the year off, or if they were going to acknowledge Junghyun at all in the album, and I think this was the perfect combination. Like part one, it showed like, oh, SHINee's still fun and everything, but still the music video and everything had a nod to Junghyun that all of us really needed. And then part two was really fun and bubbly and just totally SHINee. And then part three was kind of the reflective part we all needed to just kind of come together over Junghyun's passing and just heal together, and I thought it was beautiful. And then epilogue was just putting it all together, mixing it up a little bit, and just it was everything. And I'm so happy that we got this album, and it'll remain probably one of my favorite albums for a very, very long time. So then my favorite mini album of this year is 17's You Make My Day. Who doesn't love Summer 17? They're such a fun and youthful group that anytime they put out something with a summer vibe, it's just gonna be everything. This was probably my most played during the summer. Like it's just the perfect summer soundtrack. When I would drive anywhere, I'd listen to it. Like anytime I wanted to just encapsulate what summer felt, it was this album. I loved every single song on it, and I can't believe we're going to get like the opposite album in here in the beginning of 2019. I'm so ready. But yeah, 17 never disappoints, and this album surely didn't. And then my favorite single album of this year, I actually don't have a physical copy of because I don't really collect this group at all, but it's EXID's I Love You. I was obsessed with the song. When it first came out, I was like, the first listen, I was like, okay. But then I found myself wanting to listen to it, like the like I love you, like la la, that kept getting stuck in my head. I'm like, okay, I have to listen to it. And their stage outfits are everything. Like girls in suits is one of the best concepts in the history of the world, and EXID just pulled it off so well. Like I've never seen like these floral suits where all the girls are wearing it before. I've never seen that concept done, so I was so excited, and I just love watching the live stages. So I might actually end up buying that album just because I love it so much. We'll see. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite single album of the year. So the next question is my favorite packaging of 2018. And this was kind of a no-brainer to me. It is Red Velvet's The Summer Magic, specifically the limited edition. This was the most fun packaging of the year in my opinion. Like you just have all these little slots to put the little things that just you can display it then, and it's just so fun and unique. It kind of is a nod to how, you know, K-pop albums are a display thing. So it made it so it's fun and interchangeable and really unique. And it's so sad that Red Velvet gets really crappy packaging, but this one like made me really happy. So this is definitely my favorite. It's definitely the most unique and useful packaging. Usually when companies try to do something unique, it turns out just annoying. It's still like fun and unique, but you can still pack it up and shelve it really easily if you don't want to display it, so I liked that a lot. The least favorite packaging for 2018 is NCT's Regular Irregular. Now, I just hate anything that comes in a bag in general. Like, it's just not easy to store, it's not nice, but as far as bags go, like, this bag isn't that bad. It's more of like a file folder thing. But so that like was okay, but my main problem with it, besides the fact that it's in a bag and you can't really store it any other way, is because the cover is like this piece of paper that's over like the magazine cover, and just it's not even like thick paper, like cardboard. And see, this just fell out, so you have to keep it in the bag to keep the CD in, but like it's not like thick enough paper that you're not worried about breaking it or anything. Like, you can't just leave it set out because it could easily get bent or damaged and everything. It's just not good, and it serves no purpose. Like, you need the bag to have the logo on it, as you can see, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. And then a lot of people didn't like the photo books, and like I actually kind of liked the photo book. It was very NCT, but I kind of wish that there was two versions of it. Well, there is two versions, but I mean two versions really of the style of photo book. Like, I wish they made the irregular version be all the weird artsy shots, very NCT, and then you would have the regular version that would be like a regular photo book. That would have made more sense to me. So I don't know, it just like wasn't cohesive. And then there was only two versions, but there was 10 member posters, and then for Regulate they had 10 member versions and only one poster. It wasn't cohesive, just the whole packaging release thing for Regular, Irregular, and kind of Regulate, but this was just way worse in my opinion. All right, now for favorite photo book of the year. I have two winners because I can't really pick between them two because I like them for very different reasons. So my first one is Director's Cut by 17, specifically the Plot version. While the Sunset version is also beautiful, I just adore this photo book. I almost forgot that it came out in 2018 because it was in January, I believe, but this photo book is just, I don't know, as a carrot, I just appreciate it so much because you can just tell they're having fun and they're in pictures where they're doing stuff that's like their hobbies, or I don't know, it's just like really a fun photo book. So how could I not love it? I just find myself going back to this photo book over and over again and just really enjoying it. So it's definitely one of my favorite ones. Like, look at how cute. Like, this photo book is everything to Carrot, so I had to go in my favorites because I look at it all the time. And then my other favorite is Retro Futurism by Triple H because the photos in here are so high quality. Like, it's, first of all, it's like glossy magazine paper, and just, oh my god, the first time I opened it, I was absolutely obsessed. I was like, oh my god, these photos are just so iconic, and like, rip to Triple H because I loved this. It was, photos are just so good and they fit so with the concept, and I just love the magazine paper, and it's very like fashion editorial vibes, and I just really liked it. So the next question is most anticipated album for this year, and without a doubt it has to be EXO's Don't Mess Up My Tempo. Like, I've been waiting for this album ever since Coco Bop came out, because I was just getting into EXO when Coco Bop came out, so I didn't really pay attention to the release and the release of Power very much when that was all happening, because I was just kind of getting into them. So I really fell in love with them with Universe, but that winter albums are kind of different. So I was just kind of waiting all of 2018 for them to drop an album because I had paid attention and I'd really started to fall in love with them. I'm like, when are they gonna release an album? And then they released this masterpiece and All Was Forgiven. Tempo is one of my favorite songs. I listened to it on non-stop repeat for like a week straight, and I'm still not done with it. It's such a unique song, and it's a song that only EXO could pull off. And then just, sorry, there were like fire trucks and stuff outside my house. So yes, EXO, this album, Tempo was such a good song. Like, I played it on repeat and I'm still not done with it. It's so good. And then it's only a song that EXO could do. Like, I don't think any other group could pull off just the long extended a cappella bridge. And then all of the B-sides on this album are so iconic as well. They're all really good. They have such a unique vibe, and just still so obsessed with this album. And All Is Forgiven, for how long it took to come out, because it was just that good. But like, EXO, don't make us wait that long ever again. So the next questions are favorite rookie girl group and boy group, and for me it was pretty easy, as there had only been one in each category that really caught my eye this year. The first one is G-Idol, or Idol, however you really pronounce it, is I Am, which is their debut album. And like, I was so in love with this and in love with them. 4 Minute was actually the group that got me into K-pop. Like, I fell in love with them and have been looking for a group that's close to them since I got into K-pop. So over a year now, almost 2 years. And G-Idol, while they're not 4 Minute, they have a lot of similar qualities, and they're kind of badass girl crush type of vibe, and I really like it. I love every song on this album, and Han too. And I can't believe like they're rookies. Like, they came out of the gate just swinging away and impressed me and so many other people, and I can't wait to see what 2019 holds for them, because this is such an iconic album, and I just want to see them top it over and over and over again. And yeah, I'm just super excited for G-Idol. And then my favorite rookie boy group would have to be Stray Kids. I think this is almost everyone's favorite rookie boy group, because they've released so many things. I think it was like 4 albums or something this year, and they just have no sign of slowing down at all. This album specifically is my favorite, I Am Who. Up until this point, I had only kind of half paid attention to Stray Kids. Like, they weren't my favorite or anything, but My Pace, oh my gosh, it's such a good song. I listened to it on repeat. I would watch all the live stages. I got to know some of their names. I don't know all of them, to be completely honest. Like, I'm a bad stay, but this album was so good. I had to get it, and I had to start paying more attention to them. So they have definitely piqued my interest, and I will definitely pay more attention. I did like this more than I Am You, which came out after, but I don't know, Stray Kids, I can't believe they're a rookie group with how much they're doing and just their talent and ability. So I can't wait to see what the coming years hold for them, because if this is their debut year, like, oh my god, we're in for a wild ride. Alright, so the next question is albums that surprised me, and I have 2 for this answer, but I actually don't own either of them for some reason. Well, I know kind of 3. The first one that I kind of have a reason for is Return by iKON. Now, I had heard of iKON and I kind of knew them, but I didn't really pay close attention to them. And then Love Scenario came out in Return, and Love Scenario like blew up. Like, everyone was talking about it, and I listened to it and I was like, well, it's okay. It wasn't my favorite, to be completely honest. I like Killing Me more. But I listened to the whole album because I really wanted to give it a fair shot, and I found myself on almost every single B-side being like, wait, what is this song? It's really good. What is this song? It's really good. Like, even when I come back to it and I listen to the album through again, I'm like, wait, this is a really good song. And then the next one will come on and I'll be like, this is a really good song. So I just found myself falling in love with track after track after track. So it was actually my second favorite album, I believe, in this entire year. Like, I kind of ranked them all for me, and it was so good. But I don't own it just because I have my own personal issues with YG in general, so I don't really want to support him monetarily by buying albums. Another album that really surprised me is The Dawn by The Rose, and oh my gosh, I completely fell in love with She's in the Rain the first time I heard it. It was so beautiful. I started crying during the music video, and I find myself in the mood for this album a lot. It's a very kind of peaceful, melancholy album, and just something that you're just in a mood for on like a rainy day or something like that. So it made me really pay attention to The Rose and go back and listen to the rest of their discography and just kind of fall in love with them. Alright, so the next question is favorite non-Korean album. And I kind of have two. It's like one and a half, kind of. So the first is We Make You by 17, and it's not really the album that I really want to say because most of it is just Japanese versions of their other songs, but I want to talk about Call 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 because I'm obsessed with that song. It's one of my favorite 17 songs in general. I am obsessed with the music video. I'm obsessed with the dance practice. Like, I'm so excited. This album is just, that song is just, it's everything. It's everything I absolutely wanted from 17, and I'm so happy that we got it. And I think we're getting a Korean version and everything on their next album, but it's just such an iconic song, so I felt wrong not bringing it up in this category. But the album, non-Korean album I really want to talk about is Taemin by Taemin. I am complete and utter Taemin trash. He's one of the first idols I got into, and I just am obsessed with this album. Like, anytime Taemin releases Japanese music, like, everyone needs to stop and listen to it. It's so good. We got Japanese versions of his Korean title tracks, except for Move, which is kind of weird that he didn't, but whatever. And then this also included Flame of Love and Sayonara Hitori. So I think that was really cool. That was kind of like a best of almost collection. And then it contained a lot of new tracks too. And they're just all so good. I'm just so obsessed with this album. I did get the limited version because jewel cases are trash. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite Japanese releases of the year, and I can't wait to see what Taemin does next. Alright, so the next question is favorite subunit album of the year, and this is really the only like subunit album I really got, and that was Blooming Days by EXO-CBX. I really like this album. At first I didn't like the title track Blooming Day, but it grew on me super fast, and now it's one of my favorite songs of the year. It's just a really catchy album and really fun and lighthearted, and yeah, that's my favorite subunit one because it's kind of the only like album from a subunit I followed this year. The next category is favorite solo album, and this is another one where I don't actually own the physical album, but my favorite solo is actually XX by Mino, which really just surprised me when I listened to it and I liked it as much as I did. I thought it was going to be something else, or like Key came out with a solo album and Onyu came out with a solo album, but I find myself listening to Mino's the most. And again, I don't own it because I'm mad at YG, but I really like the album. It reminded me so much of G-Dragon, who is like one of my ultimate biases, but it was G-Dragon-esque without trying to copy G-Dragon. Like, I didn't feel like I was listening to a G-Dragon album, but I definitely felt like I was listening to someone who was inspired by his style and took on a new take of it. So I really enjoyed it, and it definitely has me paying more attention to Winner and Mino in general. So the next question is album that could have been better, and for me that's Lil Touch by OGG. Now, I love Lil Touch. I think it's such a good song, and Fermata's a really good song too, but I just mean like I expected more from this release in general. First of all, just like physical release wise, it only came in a Kino album, and everyone hates Kino albums. Like, it's almost just like rubbing it in our faces. Like, it almost would have been better if there wasn't a physical release, because it would have been all just a digital single or whatever. But like, Kino albums are the worst, but everyone who wanted to support it had to buy the Kino album, and it just, yeah, not a good thing. And just the lack of promotions, the lack of dance practice, like, it was very, I don't know, it felt like almost like SM was giving the bare minimum, and it's just really sad. I just wanted more from this so much, and it's a really good song and it's doing super well, but like, I wanted more, and I feel like there was a lot more to give, and it just wasn't being given to us. And then the last question is just random recommendations to give, and I have 3 albums that I kind of want to talk about. The first is Love Yourself Tear by BTS. It kind of felt weird not saying anything about BTS up until this point, but I didn't really have any place to put them. But Tear is one of my favorite BTS albums. I really loved Wings, and I was really hyped for her, but it wasn't my style at all, so I was kind of left disappointed by BTS, but Tear definitely brought me back. It has such good B-sides, and like Fake Love isn't my favorite title track at all, but I really love the B-sides, and I think this showed a different side of BTS that they hadn't really shown before. It was the darker side that was more reminiscent of Dark and Wild and maybe Wings a little bit, but in a softer, different, more chill vibe, I think. So yes, I really liked this album. I liked it a little more than Answer, just because Answer was kind of just a compilation album. So yeah, this is either my number 1 or number 2 album from BTS, so I definitely had to mention it. Then another album I just want to talk about is Sensuous by SF9. SF9 was one of those groups that just kind of snuck up on me throughout the year. I found myself liking a lot of their music, but I didn't really pay much attention to them. It just kind of happened into my playlist or happened into what I was listening to. And then they came out with this album, and the title track, Now or Never, is everything. I'm so obsessed with it. I listen to it all the time. And then all of the B-sides of this album are really good too. I don't really collect SF9, but I felt like I had to get this album. Like, I have to. I just like the title track and all of the B-sides. So I really want to support them. So please listen to this album and support SF9. And then my last recommendation of the year is something that stole so many weeks and hours of my time, and that is Empathy by NCT 2018. I was obsessed with this album every single step of the way. Like, every teaser, every song, I loved how they did it, and they released like one song here, one song here, one song here. I wish that they would have staggered the music videos a little bit differently, because I felt like there was so much hype leading up to the album release, and then it was released and it was like, bleh. So I don't know, just like a little bit differently. But I love that every single song on this list has a music video, and while it does like feature NCT U's old songs that they released like a long time ago, I'm not mad about it because of how much other stuff is on here and everything. And I love the 7th Sense, so like I'm not going to complain about having it on a physical copy. But I just really love NCT, and I think this project really made them at the forefront of people's minds and kind of introduced them to a lot of people. So I'm very thankful for that, and definitely had to talk about it because it was a big part of this year. So that was all of my favorite albums for 2018. It was a crazy year. There were so many albums that got released, and it's hard to talk about them all. So this is just like a small project and collection of all the albums that I bought and what liked over the year. So sorry if I didn't mention your favorite album, but please let me know what it was and everything. And I hope you all have a great day and Happy New Year!